climate is changing. That's not an opinion, it's fact. And that's why we're working to bring you weekly stories about how it's happening and what Maine people are doing to fight it.
And tonight we're looking into something developed here in New England, which is used to push lawmakers into taking action against climate change. News Center Maine's David Guilford shows us how some Mainers are using this tool not to tell people what to do to make change, but instead asking, what do you want to do?
The challenge is trying to find a way to bend this curve down.
How do you begin a climate change discussion with a friend? How about a congressperson? Peter Dugas is a member of the Citizens Climate Lobby in Maine. He and his peers work to influence lawmakers to fight climate change.
Good evening, everyone.
The group gathered in this Portland office building to show us a tool they use to take such a complex global issue and make it visual and more understandable.
It was actually a pivotal tool for the 2015 Paris climate negotiations.
It's called En-ROADS, or Energy Rapid Overview and Decision Support. We'll stick with En-ROADS. It was devised at MIT and uses ever-evolving but widely accepted data to predict how changing policies around certain industries,
And you can see it doesn't get us all the way there,
will likely impact the temperature of our planet.
So we need policy that's not only incentivizing the virtue, but also disincentivizing the bad stuff.
The program is free to use online and features 18 sliders attached to real-world situations, each with an impact on Earth's temperature. Think taxing fossil fuel suppliers will make a dent? Try it out, and the graphs move.
Looking at that, how do we take science and turn it into policy, affect the actual change?
Susanna Hancock has traveled the world teaching people not just how to fight climate change, but how to use language that convinces governments to fight a climate crisis.
We use metaphors all the time when talking about the climate crisis. Our house is on fire, our oceans are boiling.
This is her giving a TEDx talk in Geneva last fall.
What's going on is the climate crisis, and we need to call it that. Because until we do, these metaphors that we live by are going to be the metaphors that we die by.
She believes En-ROADS conveys a message most can understand.
I think that's where this is really powerful, because you can see those impacts, and it's visual, and it speaks a language that meshes science and policy and art.
It's relatively intuitive.
News Center Maine meteorologist Keith Carson agrees it's smart and easy to use, but he has a big concern.
The only critique I'd have, I guess, of the tool in general is it probably takes a certain amount of engagement to even be interested in looking at these different scenarios, and perhaps people who are engaged enough are already really interested in solutions for climate change.
Well, it's really cool, all the graphs. There's so many different graphs and math going into this.
Thea Dugas is engaged and not your typical 12-year-old. As Peter's daughter, she spent much of COVID listening to his Zoom presentations on our climate.
It's great. I mean, I feel kind of bad because she has memorized most of my presentation.
Thea latched on to En-ROADS and has led a youth group to get business support for climate action. She says anyone can make a difference. It might just start with a click.
You don't really need to do much. You can just get involved and get some friends, and you need that outreach. And yeah.
In Portland, David Guilford, News Center, Maine.
The En-ROADS simulator is free to use online. MIT professor John Sturman, who helped develop the program, tells News Center Maine En-ROADS workshops have been held in more than 90 countries.